I'll do a 3, 2, 1. And
Okay.
I'm just going to introduce the show and introduce you,
Okay.
obviously. 3, 2. What's up, everybody? You guys are in here for a treat. This is Devin from Skitbags Radio on Dash Radio, and we're joined with the Dash Comedy family, obviously coming at you from Clusterfest. And I am here with an OG, so to speak, one of the founders of our comedy collective that is international.
That means
and
you're
American
almost dead.
comedies.
That means you're dying.
No, I mean,
When they call you OG and legend, it means you're dying.
I impart it as a means of wisdom and guidance, but you know, we're all dying, man.
But for us, it's always like when people are like, "Oh, you're a legend." I'm like, "Oh, you just called me old man?" Look at all these young comics, man. You're a legend. No, man, that's what you say about like the wizards and warriors.
A legend, a legend implies that like you're
dead.
already all like.
Yeah, legend is like, ooh,
fictional.
it's not even real. Did you ever meet him? See, legend means, did you ever meet him? Oh, I knew he was alive.
Okay, how about this? Infamous.
Infamous, you can use that.
This is the infamous.
Yes, that's it. That's
Sinbad the Great, right
Yeah,
here,
you're gonna
ladies and
use that.
gentlemen. In case you couldn't tell, how the hell have you been, man? How
I'm
are
good,
you?
brother. I'm good.
Dude, is this your first time at Clusterfest?
First time at Clusterfest, man.
What do you think so far?
Man, you know what? Just from the energy, just being in, we did the rehearsal we're doing the reading of Clueless.
Oh,
the movie. Yeah,
that's
so that's gonna be
nice.
fun with Issa Rae and stuff. But it's funny in this building. All this action's gonna be happening in this building. It got so much. Like I said, I was mad because I can't see the Roots because
The
we're
Roots
doing it at the
play,
same
yeah.
time. Unless I do half my show and then run over and see the Roots.
And you know what? I mean, as much as I'm gonna be at your show, I would
Yep.
love to see that. But if you run off stage and go to the Roots, I'm gonna follow.
I'm gonna tell my audience go with me and we'll come back.
All right.
We'll go watch Live with the Roots and come back.
I'm down. How do you feel about setting of a comedy festival with an audience for stand-up versus a club?
Well, you know, a festival is no different than a club or a stage, theater, or a casino. But for me, I think when you come to a comedy festival, it's like coming to a music festival. Why would you buy a ticket if you ain't there to really have fun? I think everybody's caught up. Now the thing is, it's about making choices. This you find out as a comic, because you got to make choices who you're going to see because you can't see everybody because they're on sometimes at the same time. So this is where it's fun to see who comes to see you. And you might get people that might not have seen you before. So, oh, he's here? Let me go see him, especially some of the younger audience that might have seen me, they might have heard of me, they might have watched me on TV, but they haven't seen me do stand-up live.
Right. They don't know the infamous legends yet.
They don't know about the legend, the not dead legend.
Well, I mean, I wanted to talk to you, being so iconic in the comedian community. Can I alliterate
Oh,
anymore?
yeah, man. Too many M's.
Yeah.
You never do a lot of M's.
Never a lot of M's. I wanted to know, when do you think you started, when do you define your beginning of your comedic career? Because I know you blew up in television, then you blew up even more in movies. You've been doing stand-up throughout, but I know you were trying stand-up when in college and then
I was one time in college. One time, the student ombudsman, Moses Brewer, man. Moses wrote, I was playing college ball. He wrote this routine. It was Christmas break. There's some recruits from another high school recruits were coming in to come to play ball with us. And I got on stage. It was talent night at the student union.
Oh, nice.
And he wrote a routine for me. And that was my first time on stage. And that was the last time on stage until I became a comic. And that was 1974, 75. And I didn't get on stage again until 83.
And
81, 82.
And when you went back on stage, was it going back to open mics, or were you going straight in with
Air Force
prepared
Talent
material?
Show.
Air Force Talent Show. Really? How did that? What were those jokes? And what was that crowd like?
You know what though, man? It was great. For me, it was a thing called Tops and Blue. Air Force has a traveling talent show. If you make it, it's like the All-Star team. It's like making the NBA All-Star team. If you make it at your base, then you go to worldwide, like SAG. I mean, like it was what was it, man? It was Strategic Air Command. Then it was AFES. There's all these different commands, and you go from your base level to that level to worldwide. And if you get to worldwide, they pick out of worldwide maybe 20 to travel.
That's awesome. So you got different leagues, like baseball. You got the minors. You
got the minors, the
big leagues
majors.
coming up.
You got the no league. Go back to your job league. So when I was in the Air Force, at that time I was just clowning, always being funny. And so somebody said, "Why don't you do the talent show?" And my epiphany happened. I was at the theater. You do it in the same movie theater. Tops and Blue came. I was in Wichita, Kansas. I saw it, and I saw the comedian T.A. Burrows and a guy named Sullivan. I said, "That's me." I mean, I had a pivot. I said, "That's me. I'm winning that next year, and I'm traveling." And that was it. It was just, I was consumed with it. And the next year came, and my boy said, "Man, you funny. You ain't that funny." And I won. And then I went to the command level. and I won. Then I went to worldwide level, and they said I set a record for points. I won there. Then they said, we want you to travel. And my commander said, no, you don't get to go. So I got kicked out because I acted a fool.
Well,
I said, it's time for me to leave the military then. If I can't travel, it's time for me to go.
There you go. Was it after that then you started and you went on Star Search?
Yes, Star Search came in '84. I think it was '83 when I got kicked out in '82. So I got kicked out in '82, man, and then '84 was Star Search.
Were you working on bits like doing clubs and like
I
trying
was
to hone
showing
your
up.
act between
I didn't know
them?
what a club was. I didn't know what a comedy club was. I was going to black nightclubs and bar mitzvahs.
Like dance clubs?
And yes, and Christmas parties, man. I didn't know what a comedy club was. First time I went to a comedy club in Kansas City, I said, ooh, people sit down, come watch comedy? I didn't know what that was like, man. So I kept driving from Wichita to Kansas City, and that became like my home base for a second.
Oh, wow.
And I said, wow, this is where, I didn't do like other people. I didn't write jokes. I kind of just did my thing. Just a stream of consciousness. And the guy said, you got to write your stuff. I said, but that doesn't work for me. And I learned to trust how I do it. And then I came to LA, I was on the road in Denver, tried out for Star Search. The pencil broke. They turned the cameras off. I walked and I had these feathered earrings, blonde hair, and they actually turned the cameras off and packed up the equipment when I walked on stage.
Really?
But I didn't care because I just opened for Smokey Robinson. I was like, yo, Smokey said I was funny, so I don't care. So I filled out the form, my pencil broke, all I had was my name, Sinbad. So people called me and said, yo, man, Star Search is looking for you. But that's a joke we used to tell everybody. Star Search is looking for you.
Yeah.
And the guy said, no, man, I ain't playing with you. They are.
Because they didn't have any other contact information.
He
That's
thought
awesome.
they had called him for him. They said, you know this guy's Sinbad. Can you get us his number?
Oh, God, that's like the worst phone
Yes.
call. Worse than best for
That's
a good
the worst.
friend?
Well, no, we weren't good friends.
Oh, well,
and he
never
said
mind.
he thought about not calling me.
Oh, that'd be a dick.
He
Yeah,
said,
that's
I
a
thought about
dick.
not calling you, but I think you're going to fail anyway. So I called.
Oh, my God, that's hilarious. That's so ridiculous. I wanted to ask you about that moment winning Star Search because a lot of
I
comedians...
didn't win. I lost.
I thought you won against Dennis.
Dennis. I beat him, but I wasn't in the finals.
I
I beat Dennis on the way to the finals.
Well, you beat Dennis, so whatever. That's all that
everybody
matters.
talks
I'm
about
just
that.
kidding.
Everybody talks about Dennis. It's like there was a big Dennis Miller. I said, well, you know
wasn't-
what? He was just another comic to
Yeah,
me.
he was
But
cool.
he even said to me, I can't believe you beat me.
Really?
I said, damn, dude, you think you're that funny? Because comedy, there's no beating.
Right.
Each night, whatever your audience is, whoever loves it. Because people, the good thing about comedy, there's an audience for everybody.
Yes.
No matter
yeah.
what your style is, no matter how crazy you are or laid back, there's room for everybody.
So did you get to do a lot of your own comedy when you did television? On the shows
Yeah.
that you worked on, you brought it like as a writer and as a creator.
Yeah.
What are some of your favorite like shows and moments from those shows? I know you did. You did a bunch. I don't have to go through your resume.
The
You know
Cosby
it.
Show. The Cosby Show. Well, I started. There was a movie of the week called Club Med. That was the first time I just got to LA. I got a chance to play Red Fox son on the new Red Fox show. But Club Med was a movie of the week. And I was just doing my own thing. And Bob Giraldi, who directed the Beat It video, said he was sending the dailies back to, God, what was the company then? Why can I? Lorimar. I think it was Lorimar. And they sent him a note said, this is not the Sinbad movie. And he told
Not
me,
yet.
He told me, I'm sorry, man. He goes, I can't put you in extra scenes. He said, but I really like it when you're on the set. Will you still come to the set, even though the stuff I'm filming is not going to be in the movie? I said, yeah, I'll come. Because it just kept people laughing. So he would shoot it, but he couldn't send it.
Man. Well,
Yeah.
at least did you get any of those reels? Did you get any of that?
I know. I
footage?
wish I had.
Because that would have been
I
great.
didn't even think about it, man. I wish I had.
I
some of
bet
that
you they're in
stuff.
a vault somewhere.
There's
some
somewhere, man.
studio.
It's somewhere. But you know what? It's here.
There you go.
So, I mean, I know it, so it doesn't matter.
What about movies? Is film different from a comedian's perspective than TV?
Yeah,
like
TV,
when you're performing?
TV is a whole different kind of rhythm. Movies, man, you get to be in this character. That's why you kind of lose your mind. When I played cowboy, I wanted guns. I had my son twirling guns. We got guns at the house. We were twirling guns at the house. We bought 6 horses. And I became Black Cowboy, man. But I was already cowboy. I love horses, but I lost my mind for a second.
Got them horses in the back?
Yeah, they were right on the side. Because where I lived, it was a horse community.
Yeah, I'm from Florida. You don't appreciate
Oh, you know what I'm talking about. So I had horses, man.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Do you ever get to spend time outdoors? Like, what do you do to get away? What do you do to get your brain off Hollywood?
I
in the
love
performance
music.
life?
I play.
I know you play drums during your set.
Yeah, but I play drums, guitar. I play bass now. I'm learning
Really?
saxophone. I'm learning keys, talk box, all that.
I did the same. Before I was a performer, I played
Yep.
a few instruments, and it helped me in
Oh,
all
dude.
other facets of my performance.
Because you got ADHD. See,
Yeah,
those of us with
very true.
ADHD play music.
Facts.
Yeah, ADHD, you got to play music because when you have ADHD, I try to tell parents, we got to do something we can't master. You can't master martial arts, and you can't master music. There's always another instrument to pick up. There's always another art form for fighting. So we need something that challenges.
If you could either describe your comedy as music or your music as a comedy style, how would you do that? Like if you're like, my stand-up is like hip hop and blah, blah, blah.
It's jazz.
It's jazz?
Because jazz means, cause here's the scales, now forget the scales.
Yeah.
It's more like learn the music, now forget what you learn and play. And that's and the reason I say this, the thing that blew my mind, when I was, the finals of Star Search, Cicely Tyson was the judge, but she was married to Miles Davis at the time. And Miles Davis was sitting in the audience. And Miles Davis talked to me after the show. I'm sitting there tripping. This is Miles Davis,
Miles Davis, man, yeah, for sure.
He said to me, man, you doing jazz up there. You see the notes, but you ain't playing them. He said, keep it up, but they ain't gonna like it. And I said, damn.
Dude, I just got chills,
Miles
dude.
Davis told me I do jazz.
Bro, the Miles Davis just complimented you in that way is the most.
Yes.
That would, if something like that happened to me for Miles Davis, that would be my highlight of a career.
Well, that's why.
But then again, I don't have a career like you. So
No, man, but you said, but still think, Miles Davis says it to you. What you end up doing is, no matter where I went, when people say, well, I don't get your comedy, I'm like this, but Miles Davis did. Maybe you're not on the right level. I always said, you always got to be on the right, you got to find somebody on the level that you're at. Sometimes we keep fighting people. My dad once told me, I said, man, nobody gets where I'm coming from, nobody understands me. He said, it's nobody's job to understand you. He said, when you're talented and you do something different, it's not somebody's job to get you. You just need one person to say, I don't know what you're doing, but I trust it. He said, if everybody could understand you, you'd be like everybody else, and you wouldn't be doing what you're doing. And that's what, oh, I'm complaining about the wrong thing. This is the thing I should cherish, that you don't get me. I just need to get somebody, hey man, I don't get you, but I see you got something different. And that's the hardest part. I don't need 20 people to get me, I need one. I need one to give me a chance. The other 20 will show up, because everybody shows up. Once you do it, everybody shows up.
So we gauge our show to the up-and-coming artist, the up-and-coming comedian, the kid from Iowa who wants to get in the industry and doesn't know how, doesn't have a frame of reference. I always ask one question to all of our guests, and that's, what advice would you give to that kid trying to come up? You know, what's the words of wisdom, something that you've taken away over, you know, your years of experience? And, you know, obviously nobody in this industry succeeds perfectly. We all stumble.
No.
We all pick ourselves up. We take risks.
You have to fail. Dude,
as an artist, yes, you have to.
If you ain't failed, if somebody says they never failed, dude, this game is built on grit. Forget comedy. Life is built on grit. There's a book called Grit to Great. If I was a guy coming up with a comedy, I said, read this book called Grit to Great, which means I might not know what you're doing, but you got to keep going. They can't figure out what is the key to success. Why did this cat make it? Got the same amount of talent as this guy, but this guy didn't make it. The only thing they have found out, grit. Some people have more grit. Even when you meet somebody that don't have talent, you're like, how did this cat make it? But you couldn't tell him he didn't have talent. I've had people give me like CDs, I said, man, this sucks. But they still made it because they just gritted their way to the top. So there's something to be said for grit. So I look at, there's no place you can live, whether it's Iowa or anywhere else, there's no place where you don't have some reference now. Because of YouTube, because of TV. It's not like it was when I came as a comic. I didn't know what LA was.
Right.
It was Soul Train. That's all I knew. Now, everybody has a reference to everything. Everybody has a reference to success. But the only thing that makes you special is you. You got to find a way to get on stage and talk about who you are. Not what you think somebody wants to hear. You got to find out who you are. Talk about your life, because nobody can steal that.
There you go. You had it, young comics. There you go. Words of wisdom from our dear friend Sinbad, the great. You got to have grit, yo.
Grit.
Get up on that grit. So much grit, Miles Davis going to know who
But
you
don't
are.
eat grits. That's
Don't
different.
eat
That's
grits.
different, man.
Kind of
That's
tastes like sandpaper.
Yeah, man. With sugar, you got to put sugar in it.
Yeah.
Some people salt, that ain't it. Sugar.
Sinbad, thank you so much for joining us.
Cool.
Is there anything you want to let the people know, what you got going on? You got anything coming up? You want to drive people someplace?
This year, man,
what
this is the year, man. Netflix doesn't know it yet, but they're going to give me $20 million for a stand-up special because they have nothing left. I'm watching. Y'all run it out. Y'all run it out. Me and Angela Johnson, we're going to take the money. Movies coming out this year. We're going to work on it. Stuff I wrote back in the 90s. My son, who's a director, we're going to do some things together, man. My family's doing stuff, producing things together, man. This is the year, bro.
I couldn't be more happy
TV
and
and
more
movies.
excited.
And I'm an assassin, part-time. So if you need somebody killed, let me know. Sinbad Bad, Instagram.
Here we go. Well, I'm going to take you up on
Yeah.
that latter half.
Hey, man, sometimes you got to make money till you get money.
There you go. Words from wisdom from the great Sinbad.
Cool.
Thanks
All
so
right,
much,
man.
brother.
Peace,
Appreciate
bro.
you. Have fun at the rest of Clusterfest.
Skitbags Radio.